Folks, you need to relax for a moment, because today, February 24th, 2012, could potentially be a day of a time bomb expectancy in the Middle East. And I say that with prayer, praying for the peace of Jerusalem, but praying for the entire peace of the Middle East for all people, Christians, Jews, Muslims. But it's hard to have peace when you have these types of statements being made from the leadership of Iran. Let me read to you quickly. From the Associated Press, Syrian President Bashar Assad's regime will not fall, says Iranian Supreme Leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei, as Iran stands beside it. The top foreign policy advisor said on Thursday, which was yesterday, February 23rd, 2012, the Islamic Republic of Iran supports the Syrian government and will oppose those who act against Syria, said Ali Akbar Velati, said in remarks reported by the Fars news agency. And of course, Fars news agency is basically the Iranian news. The attempt to topple the Syrian government will not become reality, and the front line of confrontation with the Zionist regime, Israel, will not disappear, he said. Syria, Iran's principal ally in the Middle East, would resist what was deemed to be foreign interference by the United States to bring down Assad's regime. America has targeted the most sensitive area of the resistance axis, not knowing that Iran, Iraq, and Hezbollah are firmly standing by Syria, said the Ayatollah Khamenei. Really? So you're calling it the axis? The axis of what? May I ask? You might say, Paul, don't go off on this. Okay, I won't. I'm just asking the question. Axis of what? Let's see if I got this right. Let's see if we got this right. Hezbollah? Are you serious? Hezbollah is terrorist. Camp mostly in southern Lebanon, periodically firing rockets into northern Israel without consistency or direction, but anyway, still doing it. Linked very closely to the evil regime of Bashar Assad from Damascus, Syria, and also tied in with Iran. Now, wait a minute. That's Hezbollah. Then whenever you say the axis, and you're also referring to Iran, Hezbollah, Iraq, and Syria. Well, Iraq, I mean, there's a lot going on there. The murder, the mayhem, they hate the Kurds, they hate the Christians. It's getting ugly there. So, and then Iran, we know what they do. They're getting ready to execute a Christian pastor. They took 6,000 Bibles. They went around and just took Bibles from the people. There's a great revival sweeping in Iran of people leaving Muslims, leaving Islam, and joining Christianity, coming to Jesus Christ. Matter of fact, there's a pastor who left Islam, born again, filled with the power of the Spirit of God, married 2 children, arrested because he refuses to renounce. He refuses to reject Jesus Christ because he was once Islam and become a Christian and now a pastor. They arrested him. He's been in prison 2 years. They put him on trial, and folks, they convicted him, and they have sentenced him to death. He is sentenced to be executed. Where? Iran. We're talking Iran, Iraq. And do I have to even explain to you how evil things are going in Syria right now with the murder, the massacring, the complete mayhem, the snipers, the tanks rolling through the city, the artillery blowing up the apartment complex and residential neighborhoods, the murder of President Assad. The blood is flowing in the street. Axes? Axes? And so it's the proclamation of the great spiritual leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei. Syria will not fall because I'm speaking on behalf of a spiritual revelation of Allah. Really? Well, I'm sorry, but you're dead wrong according to the biblical principle, the biblical prophecies of the Bible. Now, the Bible tells us in Jeremiah 49 that not only will Syria fall, but Iran's leadership will be broken. Doesn't necessarily say Iran will fall as a nation, but the leadership of that nation will be crushed. The bow of Elam will be broken, according to Jeremiah 49, 34 through 39. And Syria will become a battle zone. The city is going to become waxed feeble in fear and become a ruinous heap, according to Isaiah 17:1. So I'm sorry, you can get up there and you can prophesy all you want, Ayatollah, but you're dead wrong according to the scriptures. And your motivation for murdering your own people is so corrupt, so evil. You might be an axis, but you're an axis of evil, a real axis of evil, I must say. Radical Islam is demonic. The Islamic people don't deserve such filth for leadership. They deserve peace, and prosperity, and a chance to have a life that makes sense. But you've brought upon them a sword of war. Your evangelistic message is with the tip of the sword. Ours is with the love of Christ. It's a big difference. Huge difference. Big difference. It's night and day, light and darkness. But I'm not done. There are problems in Syria, he says, with its governing methods. He acknowledged that. And Iran has repeatedly advised Syria to implement needed reforms, and they have carried out that task reasonably. Really? They've carried out the task of reform reasonably? Let's see if I got this right. How many people they killed today? 70 yesterday? 56 the day before that? They've killed over 10,000? There's over 35,000 of their citizens, refugees have fled into the country of Jordan in refugee camps. They're murdering them? Are you serious? Are you serious? I'm sorry. At least the coffee's good. I'm just trying to break this down. Now, there is Middle East peace talks are aimed with Assad. That ain't going to work. To help Obama, that's not going to work. Okay. Next thing is Hezbollah says it gets support, not orders from Iran. That's not true. Iran tells you exactly what to do. 11 were killed in Syria this morning as Iran ups the pressure on Damascus to settle their differences. That's not going to happen. And thousands of people are rallying in support of Syrian President Bashar Assad. No, they're not. Those people are out there cheering him on because they don't want to get a bullet in the head. This is just the people on the payroll. You don't understand. The city of Homs is just being devastated with the artillery and the tanks and the machine guns and the snipers and the bombs. And Damascus is becoming a city that is crumbling. And there's dead journalists laying around. And there's wounded journalists laying around. And there's murder in the streets. And children are dead. Nearly 500 children have been shot in the head and killed. What? You're crazy if you think it's reasonably being carried out. Okay. But I need to go focus right now. What is going on in Egypt? Friday prayers. And then they're supposed to have a 1,000,000-man march. Chanting against Israel. Defend the Dome of the Rock. Protect the Temple Mount. This is huge. This might start the Psalms 83 war. I'll be right back. We're going to take a look at that and everything else. Stay with me today, because I think today might be one of the most powerful Bible prophecy days as it relates to Middle East we've ever had. And what about that 27-pound lobster they found? What? I'll be right back. I'm Paul Begley. Stay right here. Consider your soul. I'm going to talk to you about that. Ask Jesus into your heart. You can send me a personal email right here on this YouTube channel. Title it, I want to be saved. I want to be saved. I want to be saved. Give Jesus your life. Receive Jesus Christ. I'll be right back.